Welcome everybody. Making sure I have some of my technology out of the way. Thank you all for being here. We'd like to excuse Jenny Knight from our meeting. She's away tonight. We have our contracted city planner, Sarah Wickern, with us, and also Matt Robertson, city engineering. And then we have our commission here, and thank you visitors as well for joining us. Okay, we are going to just quickly entertain a motion to approve our minutes from our June 11th meeting. We did not have a meeting in July. Do either of you have any questions or addendums?
No, good.
Okay. Any notes from city staff that we needed to adjust? Okay. Would you like to make a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the Planning Commission meeting minutes from June 11th, 2025.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, item 3 on our agenda is to grant preliminary site plan approval for the Harrisville Commercial development located at approximately 2550 North, 750 West. We also are going to be referencing the engineer's memo dated June 5th, 2025. It's the memo we referred to last time we were here.
Cynthia, can you able to bring that up? The memo? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So was there any discussion from city staff?
Just bringing up the memo.
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me.
That's fine. I don't either. They don't always like to load on my phone. Sometimes that's like full
It's like
computer.
carryover from last
Do
meeting.
you want the applicant to come up? Do you guys usually have the applicant come up? or
Uh-huh.
not?
Well, after the engineering
After,
memo is
okay.
read. Do you want to read the entire memo?
I don't know if we need to. I mean, we can. Were there any
just
items?
point out those highlight points?
Yeah, I mean, there were those main items there that we still needed to work out with the developer and their engineer. So that's why when this memo came across, we recommended preliminary site plan approval, and then we'll work with them to address all of these other items and make sure that they're ready before final approval.
Okay, and then I remember also we were waiting to hear back from Pleasant View City about making sure they followed all the regulations with the road.
Right, because this is the property, of course, the majority of the frontage is on 2550 North, which is a Pleasant View road. It also has frontage on 750 West, which is Harrisville City. But they have had some meetings with Pleasant View as far as what those requirements will be for the road improvements on 2550.
Okay.
And I think some storm drain connections that they got to work with them on.
Okay.
So yeah, there's, and he can come up, but I know that we talked with Cecil and others on his team about these requirements that we have listed in this memo. Were there any, Sarah, that you want to bring up specifically?
I mean, there's some planning issues as well, and we spoke with him at project management meeting, and do we have a representative from this group here tonight?
Yeah, Cecil's here.
Oh, okay.
I think it was your brother or cousin or something that came
Cousin,
to
yes.
cousin. That's right. That came to the project management meeting.
And we can invite him.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Satterthwaite, if you'd like to come up and join us, we'd love to hear from you.
Cecil Satterthwaite with Loyal Management. And so I worked with Matt, and there's a few things that I've got that I haven't sent him, but if you want to go back to that memo, and we did get the memo from Pleasant View, and some of the things are the same things that Matt had.
Okay.
So I've got the letters from Pleasant View, Monte Vista, Pine View. I don't have one from North 25 District. I'm on number 12. But I do have the letter from Weaver Basin because their well site is southwest of this property. Right. So I have a letter for that. Did I get that to you?
I think you did send me that. I do have
And
the
then
Weaver
one of
Basin.
them was the landscape plan, and we barely got that from our engineers. I don't think I've sent you
I don't think I've seen that.
And so everything else is, our biggest kind of challenge now working with our engineers is we have a geotechnical study, and it's clayey soil, which is expansive. So for our building, we're gonna have to excavate a fair amount of that out. And then also and we'll work with Pleasant View and our engineers and Matt on the storm drainage. So what we have proposed is an underground storm detention because we wanted to keep enough parking. Because if we left an open one, and I think it helps in certain ways, you don't have the evaporation, but with those clayey soils, it doesn't infiltrate as fast. So we're going to rely between our engineers and Matt on suggestions, but I think it's all doable. And do you see a problem anywhere?
No, I think because we run into that issue a lot in Harrisville with the clay soils, but what we usually require, and I believe I'd have to double check the geotech, but that underground detention system just needs to be 2 feet above the groundwater
Yes.
table.
And I think they designed it that way according to the geotechnical.
Yeah. Okay, and then it would detain in that system underneath and release at the controlled rate to the storm
Right.
drain system. And that would go to Pleasant View, the discharge.
Pleasant View, we had a meeting with the Public Works Director, and he was gonna get more detail, but I think we have to take it probably under 2550 to the north,
Oh, okay.
and they have a pipe there. So
Right.
we probably have to cut the road for our overflow and the controlled release.
Okay.
So if there's any other questions, we're still a little ways away. I don't know if you've seen the house there, that's gonna come down tomorrow.
Yeah, we saw that
The
start.
police got to use it, the fire department got to use it for training, so
Nice.
if there's any other questions.
No?
And I'll coordinate, I mean, it's a little tricky because we're working with two cities. It's
Yeah.
different because 2550 North, they have the whole street.
Yeah.
Which a lot of times between cities, you go to the half street.
Right, but they have the whole thing to the
Yeah,
south
they have
side of the
whole
road.
thing. So,
Yeah.
but we'll coordinate. We have a good relationship with both, so.
Any questions from either of you?
I don't think so.
Angie, just as a note, Matt and I just have combined our memos together, so any planning and engineering notes are going to be included in just one memo.
Okay.
If you'd like to see them separated, you can let us know and we won't do that, but there's a lot of times we found that engineering and planning are overlapping.
Sure. Yeah.
And so we just put all of our comments together
Okay.
on one
Makes
note. And
good
so
sense.
if you felt comfortable with preliminary approval, our request is just contingent on the items in the memo.
Okay.
And just to, I think I know the answer, but the quick question is the next steps. Is it administrative?
On a
Is it
site
close to
plan,
city council, or-
no, site plan, it comes back to planning commission. It doesn't,
Okay.
I don't believe, it doesn't go to city council, but you will come back for final site plan approval from planning
Okay, once
commission.
Yeah.
we get everything
Yeah.
like buttoned up.
Right.
Okay,
It's just the subdivision process that changed, but site plan approval process is still the same.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I don't think so. Are we comfortable
Pretty clear. It's pretty interesting.
entertaining a motion to grant the preliminary site plan?
Yeah, I'll take
Go for
this.
it.
I motion that we grant preliminary site plan approval for the Harrisville Commercial development located approximately 2550 North, 750 West, subject to all conditions and circumstances indicated in the city engineer's memo dated June 5th, and any other city and agency requirements.
Okay, I will second. All in favor? Great, thank you. Okay, item number 4 is about granting the proposed conditional use permit number 148 for esthetician services located at approximately 207 West, 2150 North. And our applicant is Sasha Martinez, and we do have a staff memo dated today. Right? Is that the one that we need to review? Did I read that right? Okay. So,
I dated it today. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to date it.
no, that's fine.
When I send it.
You date it when you send it? Okay, we might change that, but I wasn't sure. I was like, it was for today's meeting.
For
so.
today, great, that's just fine.
My signature.
Yep. So this is one of our home occupation permits. so should we read that or should we just have her come up and join us?
Let's have that.
Okay, come on up. And I apologize if I said your name wrong. Is it Sasha or Sasha?
Sasha.
Okay.
But you're okay.
Okay.
It's just us.
Okay, so tell us about your planned business for esthetician services.
So I have a little, like front, she took a, do you want me to bring the paper? Or do you want-
Nope,
I have a little like front living area in my home, so that little living right there, right by the entry, that I would like to do my esthetician services in. My main service is eyelash extensions. I do a little waxing here and there, but it's mainly lash extensions. I was over in the Monarch building, and I just had a little suite, but booth rent is very expensive, and I have a room that's sat empty in my house, so I just figured why not give it a go if it's possible. So that's mainly all it would be, just lash extensions.
Do you typically operate during regular business hours? Do you ever have any like really late nights or anything like that?
So I work Tuesday through Saturday, and I usually start at 9, and I try to be finished by 6 at the latest.
Okay.
And I only have one client at a time.
Okay.
And I have like the 2 driveways in my home, so there's plenty of parking for clients.
It's just you, right? You don't have any employees?
Yep.
So when you say you have one client at a time, how long does that usually last?
It's like an hour to an hour and 15 minutes about. So I do 5 to 6 clients a day. It varies, but.
So that's pretty busy.
So yeah, Tuesday through Saturday, all day long. That's a busy schedule.
Busy. It can be. I have slow days too, though.
So no chemicals. I mean, I've never put on eyelashes. So.
Got to have your chance here. So.
I happen to know a gal, so. Yeah, no chemicals. I do put my tools and bar aside for cleaning purposes, but that's about as chemicals.
And I assume you have a license.
Yeah,
so
I have
you're all
I
set.
have my master esthetician license. So, yeah.
Sounds great. All right, I can't foresee any problems in terms of nighttime neighborhood.
Cindy, can you pull up the
One person at
memo?
a time for an hour, coming and just parking in your driveway.
Should be good.
Let's look. We've got a couple of special regulations. I just want to make sure that we review too.
Do you want me to review
Sure,
the memo?
that'd be great. Thank you.
So just looking at home occupation, this is a reasonable request in a residential area, and I just put this section of the code here that talks about, and you've asked all the right questions, how many people and what kind of chemicals and what's going on. Limited to 25% of the floor space of the dwelling, which is what is proposed. And so I put these just in the memo, and this would be a good thing just to review to make sure. I didn't hear that you planned on going outside of these bounds, but just to keep in mind, this is what the city would be enforcing for this. So I don't think we have to read them necessarily, but I just wanted to have them documented in the memo so that the client and the city knew what was expected. So, but I didn't hear or see anything in the application that concerned me.
Okay.
So in terms of product and stuff like that, all of that would be stored in your home and in that particular room, it wouldn't be stored
Yeah.
outside at all?
No, and I have doors like on the room that just completely shut. So
And you aren't selling any other
no.
products or anything like that?
No. I mean, if I was doing like the facials and all that, you could do like skincare, but I don't do any of that with my license. So really, mainly the only other thing I did, I've noticed I do lash tints once in a while and lips. So that's just like a dyeing and lip, like very similar to lash extensions. So that's the only other thing. So yeah, I don't sell any product or anything.
Alrighty, yeah, no, that seems pretty straightforward.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to grant the proposed conditional use permit number 148.
Yes, I will make a motion to grant conditional use permit 148 for esthetician services located approximately 207 West, 2150 North, subject to staff memo dated August 13th, 2025. Harrisville City Municipal Code, and any other staff or agency requirements.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Good luck, Ms. Martinez. We hope it goes well for you.
Thank you.
There is a 15-day appeal
Oh,
period.
yes.
And so I'll be working with you on that one and contacting you after that period is up. We have to wait before we can issue the permit until that appeal period is over. Okay, but I'll keep in contact with you. Thank you. You're very welcome. Congratulations.
Yep, should we do that on our next one? Okay, item number 5 is to grant a proposed conditional use permit number 147 for Public Safety City Hall building located at approximately 686 West, 1750 North. And Sarah, if you would like to kick us off
Sure.
with this particular application.
So, do you mind
Permit.
pulling up that?
Give me a second.
Okay.
I will get it.
Sorry.
It's, yeah. I don't have my partner here. We're doing the CUP. right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Looks like we have one visitor online. Welcome.
Do we? Okay. Give me a second. There's the site plan. What do you want? And the memo, right?
In the memo, yeah.
Okay. This is- yep. All right, then go back in here. Nope, that's just us.
Oh, okay.
That's us.
Thank you. I just noticed.
Welcome.
Thanks for noticing, though. I appreciate the business. All right, back to Sarah.
Can we also pull up the diagram? Thank you.
She needs the memo.
Can we split screen? Is that
I
going to
don't
be?
know. Let's see.
Or we can go over the memo and switch back to that too.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
She's got it.
I just need a minute. Memo.
So this application is another conditional use, like we just went through with the previous request. This one is for a conditional use that's allowed in the open space zone. So for this memo, I just looked at what the basis for issuing a conditional use permit is, and so I would say,
What do you want? Do you want to control that?
yeah, maybe I'll roll it.
We'll have to use that.
So it is currently, the land is currently zoned open space, and the city would like to place the city hall and public safety in this area. So I just went through from our code in section 11 the basis for a conditional use permit in the open space zone, and it just goes through different areas, locations of parking lots. I've responded here. Much of the parking is hidden behind, so.
So
Oh, go ahead.
I just want to make sure that I understand the orientation of that. So is the parking lot on the north and the building on the south?
Yes.
Okay, so the city building would be on the east side, and then public safety would be on the west side, moving up north, and the parking, so their parking lot would be on the west side there?
So, yeah, so the west side of the building is employee parking. Those few stalls up at the front, closer to the road, those are public.
Okay.
Once you pass those, there's a gate right there, and those stalls right there, and there's more kind of just out of the screen, yeah. Those are employee parking. The main public parking lot for, say, when we have larger events is back just on the northeast side of the building.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I just want to make sure I had that correct in mind.
Yeah, and then, so you're oriented, north is left, and you've got the new road just right on the south side that'll go right in front of this new building.
Okay.
So if you look, here's your access, and
So is one an in and the other out, or will there be in and out on both of those?
So one's a northbound, one's a southbound lane, basically, on that
Nice.
road. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Lined with trees, which I really like.
and part of the project includes improvements on 750 North.
1750.
1750, thank you. And it's going to extend to Highway 89. So the improvements along this road will really benefit the area and mitigate any sort of disturbance this type of development might bring to the area. And so it's expected that this area is going to be accessed mostly directly off of Highway 89.
Okay, so police parking is then on the west side?
Yeah.
Back behind the gate? Okay.
Police
That-
and administration. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, just want to make sure I have that all.
Yeah.
The size of the parking lots is adequate for the amount of office space. There is a slightly larger congregating room here, but as we can see from attendance tonight, we don't need 73 spaces off the bat. So there's adequate parking for what will be used, and there is additional area to the north if we start having packed meetings and for our congregation space would like more parking, but we don't see any problems with the amount of parking available to the public. Let's see, the anticipated business hours are standard 7 or 8 to 5 or 6.
So will the area that's enclosed, the parking lot area that's enclosed where the police will be parking, will that be lighted 24/7?
Yeah. So those little red dots right there are parking lot lights,
Okay.
and then there'll of course be some lighting on the exterior of the building as well.
Okay. And what's our thought on how that might impact the neighbors, just out of curiosity?
So that's something I considered. Right now, there are a lot of different uses in this zone, not particularly residential, and we're looking at this side is actually zoned industrial, and this zone is more being used residential, but also there are a lot of businesses within the residential zone right now. The offset from the street, in addition to the fact that the Public Works building is right here, a lot of what's going on is going to be fairly distant from any residential activity.
Right.
The nice thing about those parking lot lights too is they can be directional, so they're shining,
Right.
shining
Right, I
down.
was just gonna ask that, so they're oriented, so they're shining
Right,
downward.
they're shooting down, and not out and blinding the
Okay, I thought that was,
neighbors.
I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing that caught my attention is how much green
There is quite a bit.
there is
Yeah.
that compared to.
That was something the
Public Works
city.
building.
That was something the city wanted. That kind of green lawn, that right there.
Uh-huh.
That, they wanted that. The ability to have little events, even like a mini kind of farmers market type thing, or just small events out on a lawn area out in front of the city building. So that was one thought there. Yeah, the overall percentage of landscaping on the site, I think, was around 22%.
That's what I remember reading. So how large of a space is that?
I'm trying to remember. I thought it was somewhere.
Do we have dimensions on
How
there?
big is the building?
It's not on this plan, but you might have
It's
them
pretty
with that
similar
plan.
to the building size.
The building, this section here is 2-story. This section is 1-story. It's about 20,000 square feet total, but some of it obviously is staffed. This is 15 feet right here to kind of give you a scale
Okay.
of how big that would be.
30, 45, 50, something.
Yeah, you're somewhere around
50.
40 by 60 type thing.
Okay, right on.
Something like that.
Okay.
Just as a reminder too, we have 2 things that we're reviewing for this.
Yes.
We've
we're-
got
yeah,
our
we're,
conditional
we're
use
bleeding
permit.
together a little bit.
Yeah, which is fine. And then
Yeah.
secondarily, we will talk about the preliminary and final
Site plan approval. Yes.
So if we've got other design and so on,
Well,
Questions?
these questions were designed still for the conditional.
Oh,
use
no,
permit.
that's fine.
So
I'm just, so we don't lump it all together and I forget, because that would definitely.
yeah, because I
that could
think the
definitely happen.
closest person's on the north
On the
of
south.
Probably on the
this,
south.
On the
right?
south of the
South.
houses.
Yeah.
On the south, across the street. So your question about lighting, that is something that was addressed.
Yeah.
That parking lot. Yeah, I mean, Chad, you might be right. It's maybe centered between the
Mhm.
home on the north and the one on the south.
Like
The distance.
between them distance.
Yeah. But they are.
But they're
ways away.
directional dark, I think they're dark sky
Compliant.
compliant lights.
Okay, great.
Um,
That's super.
And so we talk about the public engagement area right here. And we don't anticipate any detrimental environmental effects other than just building. That was just the response to, what to consider, and you've asked all the right questions, what to consider when you're thinking of a conditional use permit.
Okay, so let me ask, so you mentioned the possibility of having events on that green lawn. Are we suggesting like food truck kind of thing and just parking in that area?
Because
What?
the city, I don't think they'd want to do anything that would damage the landscaping necessarily.
Pedestrian activities.
But they had some ideas of different small outdoor type
Yeah, I guess
gatherings.
I would love for the city to do a farmer's market.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can have
And I'm
the food
just-
trucks parked around back, I guess. Something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
The building, even at 2 stories, is under, we'll have to look at the elevations. I believe it's about 10 feet under the maximum height. And so they are trying to, transitional, but right next to it is industrial. So we're actually on that border between residential and industrial. And this,
One home in between.
and one home randomly in between. So
Right.
it transitions. I feel it's an adequate transition between the 2 different spaces. We're trying to blend because right next to that industrial as well. So those are all my notes and thoughts.
2 beautiful facilities right there. I think that's great. I'm excited for the city. We're growing up, so to speak,
Oops, that's me.
along with a little brother. Okay, let's see.
Commissioner Thomas, any questions or clarifications you needed on the conditional use permit?
Sorry, just
No.
clarification. Number 6,
Yes.
we'll be voting to approve the plans.
We will when we get there. Right now,
Right
we're just
now.
looking at
The conditional use, conditional use.
The
permit.
conditional use permit.
the, or we'll table at 6, and it'll be one of the 2 when we get there.
Just sorry to go out of
No,
order.
it's fine.
I just noticed Mr. Montgomery here. I wondered if before we get to 6, I don't know if we want to mix things up. We probably had comments, I assume, about 6. Do you want to say it before we voted on it? When we get there?
Just move those agenda items around.
If that's allowed.
Suggesting public comments.
I don't know if it's
Advice?
technically
Let's
against
finish the
it.
condition.
Can I give some advice on that? So when we're dealing with these actions are not legislative, these are administrative.
So
And-
changes need to be made.
No, it's just that administrative actions, if they meet the requirements of the code, the planning commission is not allowed to deny them. If that makes sense, it's if someone has submitted something that meets the code, then the planning commission is to maybe make sure there's any conditions or requirements, but public opinion really shouldn't sway an administrative item. Now, legislative items are very different. When we're talking about a rezone or changing an ordinance and we're creating something new, that's where we need lots of public input. And this has already gone through the public input process to form decisions, and the decision has already been made that required the legislative decision. So I would advise against taking public comment for an administrative item. If it meets the code, then I would approve it. If it does not meet the code, then or if you have questions about it, I would table or deny.
Nicely said, thank you.
Okay.
Yes,
So
thank you.
clarify.
Thank you.
Also, I'm curious, do we know what the proposed timeline is for when construction will begin?
I think Matt.
Yeah, they're hoping to have this bid out in September, and construction would start shortly after that. So
Okay.
the architect's he's just wrapping up all the final stuff on the plans. We're putting out a pre-qualification package to get a good list of pre-qualified contractors. That should go out here in the next week or two, and then we'll have a list of qualified contractors, and then we'll send them the plans and bidding documents. And kind of end of September, most likely have a contractor.
Nice. Okay.
That's and Commissioner Holbrook has a follow-up there. That green space is actually like 68 by 77 feet. That bigger.
The one
block. The one to
East side?
The one to the east of the walkway there.
But that would be a permitted activity there.
Okay.
All right. For our conditional use permit, I will entertain a motion to grant the permit number 147.
Yeah, having no concerns about this and being excited about it, I certainly motion that we grant the proposed conditional use permit number 147 for the public safety/city hall building located approximately 686 West, 1750 North. Also subject to staff memo dated July 9th, 2025.
City code and code. Okay.
So,
Can I get a second?
I would second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right. And as a reminder, as we stated earlier, there's a 15-day appeal period. After the 15 days, the city will reach out to complete remaining steps for the conditional use permit. All right, continuing our discussion with the same property at 686 West, 1750 North, for preliminary and final site plan approval. Sarah, back to you. Did you have any additional comments for this property? We do have a memo August 7th. And I think it's the same, right? If I'm reading everything correctly? Or
It's
is
a
there any-
different memo
Okay.
for this preliminary final
There's
site
the
plan
same.
approval. Yeah, a different one than the conditional use.
Okay, well, yes,
We want to cover all the
yes,
bases.
yes.
Is that good, Sarah?
Yeah, that's great.
I'll let you place it.
Okay. All right. So. All right. So this is the packet. It shows. You can see these are the elevations, and the architect has labeled the different materials that have been used, so you can see kind of a rendering of what to expect.
If you want to full screen that, okay. Come on up here.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
If you want to maximize that.
This might be funny for me with my glasses, no glasses, but I'll figure it out. Okay.
Maximize the pretty pictures.
Okay, and then these are the elevations. We just wanted to check the heights, particularly make sure we're within code, which we are. So here are the drawing elevations. Also within the packet, you'll see.
So was the intent of staying 9 or 10 feet under code in terms of height, was that for the neighbors, or was that?
That wasn't,
financial?
that's just something I noticed they had done.
Okay.
I just noticed that made, the architects were looking at something that would fit in the space well, and I just noted that that's what they came up with.
And I think blend well with the public works building.
Yeah, blend with the public works building. So that was the
And the
architect's
surrounding
intent.
area.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
So yeah,
that's
just
what I
under
was thinking.
just under 35 feet tall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
And
good.
then here's that site plan
Water.
that you've seen before. We've got utilities,
Yeah.
grading plan for the parking lot, and then utilities here.
So where will the retention?
That is
So the
part of our
stormwater-
memo.
Yeah, and there's a little explanation in there. So there, the kind of everything a little to the south of the building, there's a storm drain line. There will be a storm drain line out in 1750 North that connects to the existing storm drain system at the Public Works shop.
Okay.
So there's a detention basin there.
Right.
So
That's right. Okay, I remember.
so some of that
Yes.
flow will go and route through that detention basin with the public works shop. The majority of the runoff will go to a regional detention pond that the city's planning on constructing in the north corner
Okay.
of the property.
Okay.
We were doing that as, it's not shown on the site plan because the city had intended to do that as a separate project. That detention basin in the north part of the
Northeast.
city northeast, or you know how the city property kind of juts over right there. It's in that north little corner. There's some flow that comes across off the highway that comes down into there, and then we'll have the runoff from this, and it'll all be detained in that pond.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that.
So the architects have also provided a nice landscaping plan, and
Love all those trees.
lots of trees, and then some images of the plants there
Thank you.
considering.
Can I just say
area.
thanks for being so thorough and put that together for us? I love that. Thank you. I appreciate
We'll let the architects know.
Yeah.
The landscape architects did a good
They
job.
did a good job. I think they did a great job on the landscaping around the public works building.
Yeah.
And this will be kind of be similar with a little more lawn space, like we talked about.
One thing we noted that's missing from this landscape plan that we should get actually, I think tomorrow or the next day, is the sprinkling plan. So we put that as part of the contingency, but it's not something we are concerned about holding this up with. It's fairly minor in the grand scheme of things, and we would require it before pre-construction meeting to occur. So other mentions in the memo, we talked about the storm drain system. That is difficult because we're trying to combine different projects together, but we just made sure that it was an item so that it was buttoned up before construction could start. Go ahead, do you have a question?
Well, I do actually, but I wasn't gonna. I didn't
Go
want to
ahead.
interrupt you.
Go ahead.
So, knowing that you've already thought through this, but as I'm trying to catch up on this project, so assuming that we'll have somewhere, I suppose, in the neighborhood of between 11 maybe and 14,000 people maybe-ish by the time all of our developments are completed, will this meet the needs of the city moving forward?
Yeah, that was the intent. So they were pretty. It's always difficult, right? Because the city's in that position where they have a limited budget and they have to be sensitive with how much we can spend. But they're trying to construct something that's going to last for a long time. So they went the rounds with the architect on the needs analysis. What do we currently need as far as for our police force, for our city administrative staff? What do we currently need? What do we project that we'll need in the near future based on that population? And that was the basis of the design for the building. And they did scale. You know, obviously you start with a grand wish list, and then due to budgets you scale it back. But there is quite a bit, or there is a good amount of room for growth, particularly with office space
Nice.
as city staff grows for both police and administration.
Good. I just didn't want to find ourselves ourselves in the place that we're in right now.
Yeah, right.
Really quickly.
No,
Okay,
it'll,
thank you.
it'll be
I
really
figured that
nice,
was the
yeah.
case, but I just was hoping to have that clarified for me so it makes more sense.
Yes, they went through, you know, with, like I said, police and city as far as every position they anticipate in the future based on that population, make sure there's space for it.
Okay,
So,
excellent.
yeah, we intend for this to be a building that'll last a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, super.
Yeah, just one couple more things on the notes, just that we're waiting on a couple of letters and we expect them very soon. Just timing of this meeting we weren't quite in time, but
Right, so-
we have some of them and some of them are in the works, but all the discussion has been had, and so we're confident the letters will come in.
Yeah, for example, with the culinary water, they did give us approval to install. We've already installed the culinary water main all the way up to the highway and across the highway. That's all connected now. And a main line down in between this city building and the future fire station to the east. Fire hydrants have been stubbed. Utility or the service laterals have already been stubbed for water, sewer, and secondary. So Bonavista did approve all of that work. They just are looking at the fixture count for the building to figure out the meter size. And
Okay.
Their final letter.
Sounds great. Okay, super. Thanks for sharing.
So I think that's it from us. Matt, do you have anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you covered all the items in the memo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have it memorized, but two I read the question. Any other questions from the commissioners?
I don't know.
Can we pull the memo back up on the main screen, please? If you wanted to glance at that.
Oh, that's me. Sorry.
Whoever's doing that now.
Do I remember where I closed it?
It's
It's
still up there.
it's this right here.
It's the other one. There you go.
There we go.
Back
And just maximize it.
Just
Yeah,
maximize.
I can do that.
Nice.
There we go. Nice scrolling in. There you go.
Just so we can glance at it for a minute. We pretty much went through all of the
Mhm.
items.
Yep, total parking spaces. Total size, square footage. Runoff. And then the requirements still. Yeah, it's great. I'm ready.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to grant the preliminary and final site plan approval for the Public Safety City Hall building.
Sure, yeah, I will, excuse me, I will make a motion to grant preliminary and final site plan approval for public safety / city hall building located at approximately 686 West, 1750 North, subject to Harrisville City Municipal Code, Engineers City Memo dated August 7th, 2025, and any other staff or agency requirements.
Okay, I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. All right, we are now to our public comment portion of our meeting. Just as a reminder for any of you that are here, we do allow for a 3-minute maximum. When you come up to the front, if you will please state your name, and we'll go from there. Oh, do I need a motion to open public? I don't have to, right? 'Cause
No,
we're in the
not
public
this-
hearing.
not
We're not in
this
the hearing.
one.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Don't want to miss one of my Robert's Rules of Order.
Not this one.
Yeah, you probably made this chair.
Yeah. The last call. All right, we will close our public comments portion and move on to commission and staff follow-up. We don't have anything specific, no items from the city unless we have additional questions or discussion items as commissioners.
It looks like they are going really fast on the golf course. It's really exciting to see.
Yeah, they've got, I think, at least 3 different full excavation crews going. They have the 3 phases approved, and yeah, it's going quick.
Up the road soon go from 89 up to 2,000 there.
Yeah, they got phase 2A. So you'll probably start seeing curb and gutter and asphalt on the phase closest to the highway.
Yeah, we just started seeing curb and gutter going just a few days ago, so.
It's pretty exciting.
So yeah, it's moving along.
Way exciting. Well, that's good. So any timeline in terms of the fire?
The fire station.
Yeah.
I've heard. So their plans, they approved in their budget the full design. So actually, the architect went ahead and they pretty much completed their full design. So the plans are all ready, but I think they need to wait. They may be waiting till the next fiscal year or something. I don't want to speak incorrectly, but they will probably be just right behind the city. Maybe 6 to 8 months lag behind the city.
But it's for sure.
As far as I know,
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sure things can change, right?
Yes, right.
But they have the whole full plan set done.
Oh, that's good.
So
Okay,
yeah,
that's
it's great looking building.
So
as well.
this is gonna be part of the Northview?
Yeah, it'll be Northview Fire Station 23.
Oh, that's great. Wow.
Anyway, yeah, it's exciting.
Okay.
Nice
Yes,
looking
it
building
is
as
really
well.
exciting. Okay. Just trying to think. Any interest in terms of businesses that would like to be in the commercial area of the golf course or up north there? Have we heard of anything?
I guess is they want to
Are
see
they-
more rooftops and bodies
Yes.
before they'll entertain too much.
So is anybody from the city actively talking with anybody from?
That's a Jenny question.
That's a Jenny.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure.
That's a Jenny question.
All right.
Sorry.
That's a Jenny question. That's okay. I'll email Jenny.
Anything else we need to cover? Are we ready to adjourn? I will entertain a motion, so I'm not doing it myself and making us forced to leave if you have something else we need to discuss.
I'm good.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I motion to adjourn
All right,
for this evening.
Second that.
we are adjourned.